Today I'm so excited to have the Z Fold 3 sat in front of me to share the unboxing experience with you guys today. So welcome back to another episode of STU'S Reviews Unboxing. Right, let's get this going. I am so excited because the Z Fold 2 is one of my favourite phone devices. It is one of the more expensive options. I can't argue with that. But that is where this comes in because I believe it's slightly cheaper than what the original Fold 2 came out with. And the Fold 1. I think they've gotten cheaper each time. Don't quote me with that one. But I think the Fold 2 was $1,799 if I rightly remember. And this is $1,699 with the Fold 2 dropping down to $1,599, which isn't enough of a drop for an old product. But it doesn't matter. That aside, we'll talk about that at another point. Now, if you are expecting me to do a full review of this, it's not going to be in this episode. It's just going to be me unboxing this and sharing the experience with you guys. If you want to see a full review of this, catch up with me in 1 month's time because I want to spend a bit of time with this device, very much like the Fold 2. I think with a folding phone, they've got to test its durability, its longevity, the camera's got so much to test with it, so I'm going to spend a good while with this and I'll catch you back here in a month's time. So if you are new to the channel, you do want to see that review, make sure you hit that subscribe and that notification bell to find out when that lands. But without further ado, let's just get this open. I'm going to unfold the box. Ooh. Okay, this is different. Got some tricks on the inside of the box. Some 3 good tricks. Definitely thinner packaging than the previous one. The old one had this kind of unfolding box, which I really liked, but this is slightly different. I think a lot of people tend to skip over the fact that companies are making their packaging smaller. It does have a massive impact because the more of these they can fit on a plane, the less shipment they have to actually do. And the less storage space it takes up, so the more phones they can ship in one go, meaning less flights, meaning less fuel. All has a knock-on effect, and I'm really pleased that Samsung have made it a bit smaller. But I did like the folding box. Now, you might see here it's green. That's because the Fold 3 comes in green. I'm very happy about that. Here we go. Oh, look at this. I just love the folding phones. I just love them. Let's open this up. Oh, my lord. So, let's talk about some of the changes. There aren't actually that many to talk about. It's largely the same phone. It's slightly more resistant to dust and water. It's got a cool camera, actually, on the front, selfie cam, which I'll get into very, very shortly. What else? A few other little bits. But realistically speaking, most of it is more incremental changes. It's more a revolution of the product than an evolution of the product. It's not like the difference between the Fold 1 and Fold 2, which was just astoundingly different. This is more of an iterative change. But that's not to say that this is going to go wrong. Because even if it's just a refinement, again, of that folding design, that gets me happy. The crease, I'd probably say, is still quite visible. But the screen feels slightly harder. Because it hasn't, it's still got like that soft kind of protection on it. Because that is the nature of a folding display. It's going to be slightly softer, but it definitely feels firmer than it used to. Oh, look at that green. Just look at that. That is stunning. It's subtly green. It's not as green as I anticipated, though. I was hoping it was going to be slightly more green. Let's turn it on. Now, you might see straight away here one of the differences, and that is the camera, the selfie camera. Instead of being a little hole punch, this is a beneath the display camera, so you cannot see the camera when the screen is on. Right now you can get a glimpse of it just there, but supposedly, as soon as this lights up, oh, look at that! You can see it. This is the first time I've ever seen a hidden selfie camera. This is the first time I've seen one with my eyes. And it is quite obviously there. That's not quite what I expected. It's like you can see the individual pixels, and it's almost, when you look directly at it, it's a bit odd. It's got a very unusual kind of visual, I don't know how to describe that. That is unusual. It's almost got an unusual refresh rate. I wonder what the refresh rate of that segment of the display is. But if you're not focusing directly at it, it disappears. It blends in completely into the environment. And that is fantastic. I love that. Just look at that. Have I told you that I love folding phones? Oh, please, if you haven't given one a go already, do it, because this type of technology is just astounding. Still gets me, and we're the 3rd generation along of this device. And more companies as well are bringing out folding devices. You've got, very recently, Xiaomi released the Mi Mix Fold. And of course, that's not yet come to the European Union officially. In fact, it's only out in China at the moment. That is a really interesting phone because it's bringing the price of them down. I mean, if you did a direct conversion, that's about £1,000. So we're getting a good distance away from the 1st generation of folding devices, and it's starting to show, because this sort of thing is just a technological wonder, and they're getting better and better and better, and I just love it. Now, I do have some feelings towards the Fold 3 that are a bit surprising. I love it, don't get me wrong, this already is incredible, and it's just, again, solidifying my love for folding phones. But, like I said, it feels like more of an incremental change, which is great, that's great. But the Flip 3, the difference between the Flip, or the last Flip, and this is incredible. I love the Flip 3, and I'm kind of wishing that I'd gotten hold of the Flip 3 to give it a go as well. But here we are again with this front display. Now, I personally wished in my Fold 2 review that they brought out a cheaper model without this front display, because I don't feel that it needs it. It could even just have a very, very small display like the Flip 2 or the Flip 3. I don't think it needs this massive front display for most people. It feels a bit thin. But putting that aside, I'll discuss more about that in my full review. That is just so cool. You know, folding phones, you know, open it up. There we go. Folding phones still make me weak at the knees. It's so bloody beautiful, and I can already feel some of the refinements that Samsung have made to the Fold range. There's one thing that immediately annoys me, however. I said in my last review that the only thing mystic about the Mystic Bronze colour was that it was pink. Well, I've come to the quick conclusion that the only thing that's scary about this Phantom Green colour is that I've seen lumps of coal more green than this. But colour aside, this thing has me grinning like a child at Christmas, and I'm so excited to put it through its paces. I just love it, honest to God. This thing is so cool. But that is the unboxing experience. A little bit different from last time, guys, because obviously the box was slightly smaller. It wasn't quite as presented with the open, unfolding box, but I still liked it. I'm still in love with this type of phone, and I cannot wait to spend this month just getting to grips with it to share my final opinion on whether or not you should buy the Fold 3. But thanks very much for tuning in, guys. Only a real short video today, but I'll see you back in another episode of STU'S Reviews real soon.